Apollo 13 flight controllers, listen up. Give me the go, no go for launch.
Booster.
Go.
Retro.
Go.
Vital.
We go flight.
Guidance.
Guidance go.
Surgeon.
Go flight.
Ecom.
We're go flight.
GNC.
We're go.
Telmu.
Go.
Control.
Go flight.
Procedures.
Go.
Inco.
Go.
FAO.
We are go.
Network.
Go.
Recovery.
Go.
Capcom.
We're go flight.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
8. Ignition sequence has started. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have commit and we have liftoff at 2:13. The Saturn V building up to 7.6 million pounds of thrust, and it has cleared the tower.
This is Mission Control Houston. We appear to have a good first stage at this point. Flight Dynamics Officer says the trajectory looks good. We show 1/2 mile in altitude at this time. 13 Houston, go at 30 seconds. Roll complete and we're pitching. Roger that. Stand by for mode 1 Bravo. Mark 1 Bravo. 1 Bravo. Command. Altitude 1.2 miles. Velocity 1,500 feet per second.
Apollo 13 Survival is directed by Peter Middleton. This is a Netflix documentary history film. The film stars astronaut Jim Lovell, astronaut Fred Hayes, astronaut Ken Mattingly, astronaut Jack Swigert, flight director Gene Kranz, Marilyn Lovell, Barbara Lovell, Susan Lovell, Glenn Looney, President of the United States of America Richard Nixon, astronaut Neil Armstrong, and the main anchor of the CBS Evening News Walter Cronkite. This documentary film is rated PG-13 for some bad language and emotional intensity. The film has a runtime of 1 hour and 38 minutes. This is a documentary film, and it was not released in movie theaters, but it was released exclusively on Netflix. The film was released on Thursday, September 5th, 2024, on the Netflix streaming platform. I have watched this movie several times because I'm a huge fan of the Apollo missions of the late 1960s and 1970s and some of the later space shuttle missions. Plus, I was always intrigued by the events of the Space Shuttle Challenger and why that happened. The one thing I remember, because I was a senior in high school in 2003, just months from graduation, I was getting an oil change in my car and I saw a TV in the place that was servicing my car saying communications with Space Shuttle Columbia had been lost. So I very much remember that day because we lost the Space Shuttle Columbia when it disintegrated over Texas and Louisiana during re-entry. That will stay with me forever. I remember watching the news all day that fateful day. It was Saturday, February 1st, 2003. This documentary tells the real-life factual story of the Apollo 13 mission and how it went from a normal space flight to the moon, and 3 days into the mission on Monday, April 13th, 1970, not too far away from their destination, an explosion occurred on the service module part of the spacecraft. The mission then turned into a fight for survival as the 3 astronauts had to abort the main mission to the moon and use the Lunar Excursion Module as a lifeboat so they could conserve enough power and get back to Earth safely before time runs out, as well as oxygen and other vital supplies. That is the summary synopsis of the film. Here are my negatives. Honestly, I don't have anything negative to say about this film. Now, that doesn't mean it's a perfect film and that it doesn't have any flaws, because no movie, not even documentaries, are perfect. But in all honesty, I couldn't find anything negative to talk about regarding this movie. There is one thing, not really a negative, but something that they should have done. That is, they should have not only interviewed the astronauts, the members of Mission Control, and the Lovell family members, but they should have also interviewed members of Fred Hayes' family and members of Jack Swigert's family as well. That would have made this film even better, I believe. Like I said, not really a negative per se, just something I think they should have done and included. Here are my positives for the film. The story. The story itself is remarkable, a true story that actually happened, And with all that went wrong, they succeeded in getting home safely. I mean, wow. If you go back and look at the major motion picture by Ron Howard that starred Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon, Ed Harris, and all those other people, and then watch this, I mean, you'll see just how remarkable it was that they actually made it home alive. The way the story was told in this documentary, from not just the astronauts' point of view, but that of the families, the people of NASA, as well as the most important people who worked in mission control, and the President of the United States, Richard Nixon, and the people of the world. This story and this documentary is made and put together with such clarity and such care and such relevance. I mean, they really made sure to try and get this thing as right and as accurate as possible, and they did a good job. There were no actors in this film. The people in the film were the real people telling the story from how it all began until its conclusion. The filmmakers did a magnificent job of putting this amazing documentary film together. There are no visual or special effects in the film. Everything is real, real life. It was shown from footage that was actually shot during the actual Apollo 13 mission, footage from mission control, footage from the astronauts and the spacecraft, footage from the families, footage from different press and news agencies, and footage from regular people as well. And everything in this documentary movie, like I said, is the real deal. And I believe there was also some archival footage used from previous lunar missions. We, as the audience, get to see rare footage and have access to complete audio recordings of the Apollo 13 mission, as well as archival interviews with the crew, their families, and the members of Mission Control. What is also very impressive about the film is the filmmakers employ reconstructive techniques for parts of the story where there is limited visual coverage. That also includes representational footage from other NASA missions, as I explained earlier. One of the things I did do is I watched this documentary twice in one day, and then a few days after that, I watched the 1995 Apollo 13 movie directed by Ron Howard that starred Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, Gary Sinise, Kevin Bacon, and Ed Harris. I watched it twice, and I noticed something in both films, and a lot of things were going wrong even before 13 launched into space on the Saturn V rocket. Those small things that happen, it was almost, as said in both films, was like a dark omen that was casting a dark shadow or dark ominous looking cloud over the mission before the Saturn V even lifted off the launch pad. Had I been one of those astronauts, I probably would have said, I'm not doing this mission. I'm not going on this mission. Assign me to a different mission or I walk. One of the things I find interesting is this documentary does something that no other documentary has ever done that I know. This documentary film does not have a narrator. Instead, it relies on the voices of the people involved in the mission to tell the story. The documentary emphasizes sound design with a focus on creating a realistic, immersive soundscape that blends music and sound effects together seamlessly. And boy, did they nail that. The score music in this documentary is so well done. I mean, the score music is beautiful, almost as good as the movie Apollo 13. It gives off hopeful, dramatic action, thrilling suspense, and danger pieces, as well as love and triumphant melodies, which makes this documentary that much more interesting, entertaining, and enjoyable. The score was composed and conducted by James Spiney. Now, I'm not familiar with this composer at all, and this is the first time I've heard anything that this composer has ever done. But he did do a marvelous job on this Apollo 13 survival documentary. Okay, these are all my positives. Now it's grading time. I'm going to give this Netflix documentary film, Apollo 13 Survival, a very powerful and well-deserved A+. Here are my final thoughts. Not only am I a huge fan or fanatic for movies like major motion pictures, but I really do enjoy documentary films as well, especially if they are on subjects which I enjoy. I've always been fascinated with NASA space missions, especially during the Apollo era and the Space Shuttle era. The lunar missions have always been a fascination of mine. Always. I have seen a lot of documentary films, and this is one of the better ones and probably one of my top favorites. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. You won't regret it. I guarantee you it is amazing. And not only is it amazing, but it's easy to get to on Netflix if you have Netflix streaming. I find it exciting that we as a nation, the United States of America, are now in the process of going back to the moon on new manned missions called Artemis. This is just a starting off point before we try to do manned missions to Mars. So exciting stuff is happening right now in our nation involving space travel. This is a wonderful documentary that tells a story of hope and survival, and that failure is not an option. I hope you all love and enjoy this film just as much as I do. If they release this on Blu-ray and DVD, I will definitely be adding it to my movie collection. But as of right now, I believe it's only on Netflix streaming. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to say good night. God bless. I love all of you, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.